Hey, Miss Marion here. We are going to be talking about two-way tables again. You will need some notes that are in Canvas to go ahead and print those out because we're going to do some vocabulary and then also be taking some notes along with it. So it would be easier if you go ahead and you can print those out at this time. So the I can statement that we're going to be talking about today is I can use a two-way table, frequency table, or relative frequency table to find associations among variables. So we're talking about two-way tables. We're also doing the relative frequency tables. So before we go into our lesson for today, let's talk about last night's homework just a little bit. So we're talking about number 2, we're talking about Juan, and he's doing middle school, knowing those middle school and high school, those who like PS and those like Xbox. The bottom table down here, this one in here is actually correct as far as filling it in. So we would have 27, so we have 50 middle school kiddos, 27 of those like PS3. And then, of course, we know that we can add across this way. So we have 50 minus 27, you get 23. And then we have 50 high schoolers. And then it says 24 of those like Xbox. So 24 of the 50 like Xbox. Again, we can do 24 plus 26 equals 50. And then we know we can add downward to go ahead and fill everything else in. Let's talk about a frequency table with a column. So that means we're going to use the column information to go ahead and find this frequency table. So I want to find this one here, right? And so what is there? So that is the Xbox and middle schooler. Well, how many Xbox and middle schoolers? We have 23 divided by, and then we're going to do the column total, which is 47. Notice the column total is here. So we take our calculator, we do 23 divided by 27, and that is 0.48936. We want 2 decimal places. So we're going to look at the person next to him. So is that 5 or above? Yes. Give it the original shove. We're going to make it 0.49, which is known as 49%. So in here, let's change the color. This is 49%. So, and then if we want to go ahead and do the guy next to him here, so that is 27. Okay, so we have the 27. And we're going to divide this one by the column total, which is 53. Which means I divide 53. So we have 27 divided by 53. We want 2 decimal places. So that is 0.5094. Look at the guy there. Is he 5 or above? Yes, gives him the original shove. We're going to make it a 51%. Okay? Now let's go back down to this one here, right? And so that one there are 24. So we have it as 24. And then the column total is 47. 24 divided by 47. Okay, and that is going to be 51%. And then next one, so we have 26 divided by 53. 26 divided by 53. That is 49%. So hopefully this helps you with number 2. The last one I want to go ahead and talk about is number 6. This is about Justin Bieber. And if we read the question, it says, how many more of his friends have AB in math than C or lower? So how many friends of those? So he has 70 friends that have AB. He has 60 friends that have C. Well, how many more is that? So if we subtract those, the answer is 10. All right, let's go ahead and go to our vocabulary. This is the page that's by itself. This is what is called a marginal frequency. Notice how the marginal frequencies are the sums of the rows in the columns in a two-way table. So that's these sums that are here. So either a column sum or a row sum. And they're always positive numbers. A two-way table displays two categories of data collected from the same source. Characteristics, it is a table, and it can be used to draw conclusions about categories that are related. So we usually have a question, like a yes and no question, shows how those are related to each other. And then we can also do associations along with it. Joint frequency. A joint frequency is where we have, so each entry of a two-way table is a joint frequency. So like this one is those who have passed the test and studied. That would be this 21. Again, they're also positive numbers. So again, a two-way table displays two categories of data collected from the same source. And again, it's presented in a table format. So let's go ahead and look at example number 1. You randomly survey students in a school about their last test grade and whether they studied for the test. The result of the survey is shown below. And then let's go ahead and answer the question, how many students in the survey studied for the test and passed? So go ahead, pause, answer that question, and then come back to me. So it's study for the test, so studied for the test, and then also passed. That number is 21. So let's go ahead and look at number 2. So number 2, we have all these tally marks, and it's talking about riding a bus and not riding a bus. So we're going to go ahead and make a two-way table. A two-way table is two pieces of information, and we're going to kind of put it together as riding a bus and do not ride a bus. So go ahead and follow along with me. So I'm going to go ahead and make a table with information. So we have 12 to 13, 14 to 15, 16 to 17. We have ride, bus, don't ride, bus, and then we also have totals. And we need to get, well, we'll have to deal with totals later. All right, so now let's start filling it in. So how many 12 to 13-year-olds ride the bus? We have 5, 10, 15, 20, 24. How many 14 to 15-year-olds ride the bus? 5, 10, okay, we have 12. How many 16 to 17-year-olds? 5, 10, 14. How many 12 to 13-year-olds don't ride a bus? 10, 5, 10, 15, 16. How many 14, 15-year-olds don't ride the bus? 5, 10, so 13. How many 16, 17-year-olds? 5, 10, 15, 20, 21. And then we can do our row totals. Let's go ahead and do that. So 12 to 13-year-olds, how many 12 to 13-year-olds do we have total? 24 plus 16 is, and I'm going to change that color. So we're going to have 40. 12 plus 13. 14 to 15-year-olds, we have 25. How many 16 to 17-year-olds? 14 plus 21, 35. Okay, and then we can also do the totals of ride. So let's do 24 plus 12 plus 14. We can say that there are 50 students that ride the bus. 16 plus 13 plus 21. We can also say that there's 50 that ride a bus, and all the way total, we have 100 students that were surveyed. Now let's go ahead and it says for each age group. Notice how each age group is the row, okay? And so we're going to make a frequency table for the row because that's the each age group. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my two-way table. So we're going to have ride, don't ride. I guess I really don't need that extra stuff over there. Okay, we're also going to have 12 to 13, 14 to 15, and 16 to 17. Okay, So now we want to find that percentage, right? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to say we have 24, and we're doing it for each age group. So we have 24 divided by 40. Grab a calculator, do 24 divided by 40. That is 0.6, which is 60%. Now let's do the next one. Don't write bus. We have 16, and it's going to be divided by 40. So we have 16 divided by 40. 16 divided by 40 is 0.4, which is 40%. Okay, awesome. Now let's do 14 to 15-year-olds. We have 12, and then we're going to divide that by the total. Let's do blue. So we have 12, and the total of 14, 15-year-olds is 25. Grab a calculator. 12 divided by 25. That is 0.48, which is 48%. 14 to 15-year-olds who don't write, that's 13. 14 to 15-year-olds total, that's 25. So we have 13 divided by 25. That's 52, okay, and that's going to be 52%. And then let's go ahead and do 16 to 17-year-olds. How many ride? 16, 17-year-olds, that's 14. Let's actually do a little bit better than that. So we have 14 divided by, and then 16 to 17-year-olds is 35 total. 14 divided by 35, that is 0.4, which is 40%. And then don't ride, we have 21 to 16 to 17-year-olds. There's 21 of them. And the total surveyed was 35. So we have 21 divided by 35. That is 0.6, which is 60%. So notice as each age group was kind of in the earlier information, we went ahead and did a relative frequency here. So what do we see with this information? So what I see is, okay, that there's more people who ride the bus when they're younger than older, right? And that might be because some people either get a car themselves, or they're getting rides from their friends or from parents. So this kind of shows as far as bus usage and how it changes when kids actually get older. All right, so let's take these 2 pages. So that there's 2 pages that we were working with. The marginal frequency vocabulary page, that needs to be taped on page 101. And then the note page needs to be taped in on page 97. This is to keep everything together. We do have a quiz. We have a quiz tomorrow, but we have a test next week. And so we want to keep all the information together so we can go ahead and study for it, right? That's why we're taping it in. We do have another worksheet Canvas assignment where we are not doing the practice problems because they don't really go along with my core. And again, it goes into Canvas. So if you have any other questions, go ahead and email me. I hope you have a good day. Thanks. Bye.